Okay, so I'll just wait for some numbers to come on, and they kicked me off of the live, digging themselves a deeper hole. There is going to be no forgiveness in my mind with this. They're just, every chance they're having, they're not taking it. So I personally am going to struggle for any level of forgiveness for these people. I think they're going to be facing very serious problems. They just kicked me from the live, so thank you for coming back. We'll just wait for the numbers to hopefully go back up a little bit again. So they just removed my live. They didn't want you seeing the connection to Philip Schofield, it looks like. They removed me from the live. Right, they don't want you knowing the truth of the centralized criminal network and deception against you all that they have had in place. So I'm just going to show you that evidence again. They removed me from the live for trying to show you the truth. So we're going to go into Philip Schofield's. It looks like that's what they were worried about then. So they kicked me off the live, and oh no, okay. Maybe I clicked the wrong bit of it. See if it loads up. No. Okay, so they might have removed Philip Schofield's connections. Let's see if we can find it another way. So that isn't working. Maybe they didn't want you to see that it wasn't working. Possibly. So we're looking at Philip Schofield, the television producer. They've removed his record. It looks like. Hold on. I thought this. Let me just double check. Oh no. Hold on a second. Oh no. My apologies. It was further down. So here we go. Philip Schofield, Ingenious Film Partners 2. Shown on page 40 of the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales. I'm going to show you that now. He was appointed when I moved from Kent to Dorset to this company, and then he resigned not long after the Christchurch earthquake and before Jimmy Savile's death. So Ingenious Film Partners 2, linked to to Philip Schofield. We know it's him because you've got the Gordon the Go for trading. When did that dissolve? 2024. Yep, so they dissolved that after I was exposed and everything. And yeah, he links to YMU, which is YMU is a big entertainment organisation tied in with this as well. So they dissolved Gordon the Gopher company, where they're probably laundering the money through it. I'm guessing, that's my guess. I don't know that for sure, but I would think so. Radio Plymouth, when did that dissolve? 2022, the same month that I made the report of the fraud. So Philip Schofield, you have been according to what I'm seeing, not a very good person, according to all of this. But you're not the only one, all right? So we can't just point the finger at you. Many people have been involved in this within your entertainment industry and within the criminal network. So let me just show you Royal Foundation of Prince and Princess of Wales. So just to recap, if you're not already aware, Philip Schofield was involved in a scandal of supposedly being in a relationship with a young person, not underage though. Okay, so it's possible this was deliberate for me to try and find it, potentially. The Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales. I'm just going to show you Ingenious Film Partners 2. Okay, so this is the organisation, started in 2009. Filing history, let's see if they've removed the incorporation document. I've got it all screenshotted anyway. They have. Download again. Page 40. Ingenious Film Partners 2. You see it in the middle there? Ingenious Film Partners 2 LLP. The exact same company, linked immediately to Philip Schofield, linked to Robbie Williams, linked to me via those that I grew up with. Okay, now you've got critical companies on here. This is the most important company that makes the links to everything. You've got like the 3 main fraudulent companies, but you can see here you've got the Russian government link on here, the Hacklow International Advisory Board, which goes back to the vampirism, okay, of 1333, the evidence tying into Richard Hakluyt, into the 15th century, when Richard Hakluyt was around, in the 1500s, linking in with John Dee. And then you've got the Lloyd's connection, so this will be the Edward Lloyd is almost guaranteed to be tied in with Lloyd's Bank, marrying into a Fleming, and then being linked into the vampirism. So the whole system has been centralized to the blood of the children, you see. Every bit of money you're spending, you're paying into the system, is very likely paying for the horrendous crimes against the babies and the children, according to all of the research, to supply their blood to them. Right, so you've seen the Hill Samuel link. We said about that. Let's get on to, because there is some really important evidence still to come in relation to the gravity side of things. If I can find my notes. Oh, yeah, there it is. That's it, isn't it? So we mentioned Hillbank. Samuel Hillbank had been linked directly to my school at Maidstone via the Edward John Llewellyn Lloyd and to the judge Nigel Hamilton Sweeney in the case of Rolf Harris. All right, let this just sink in, everybody. This is all coming in from this Hill Samuel connection into the Knight Rider link that we were making where I was living. So you have the link. Now this Nigel Hamilton Sweeney appears to be using false identity and duplicate pictures and records for another judge who is critical in this. The governments are trying to blur the lines and make it difficult to decipher the truth. That other judge, I think, mentioned shortly. I've written it down today, so I think it's going to be coming up. So this Sweeney name is tied into a judge we're going to be talking about later. In the case of Rolf Harris and the Lee Rigby murder, he was the same judge for the Lee Rigby murder, the guy that was in the military that was supposedly stabbed in the street. And this connects to CERN Limited. Also to the former MP, oh no, that's, get rid of that bit, it doesn't. It does, but that's not what I wanted to put in there. Let me move on. As shown elsewhere in research, I need to review that bit. I think that might do actually, but I'll carry on anyway. The former MP for the area of Exbourne Manor, blah, 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 Savills property, as shown elsewhere. And it is also linked to Jeffrey Stanton Morrow and On & Co. Bloodstock Limited. Right, so this is coming in from the document from the Knight Rider link. It links immediately to a bloodstock company. Bearing in mind, we've got all these connections of the blood of the children. And this is in the research of Sarah Ferguson, who we've already mentioned, tying to the Duke of Edinburgh research. Shaw & Sons is also on it. Have I still got the document open? Yeah. So you've got Hill Samuel Bank. You've also got Shaw & Sons in the corner. Remember, this is the Knight Rider company, Knight Rider Properties Limited. Okay. Shaw & Sons is shown in at important times throughout the research, including to Gillingham Masonic Club Limited, a criminal company in Kent, and linking directly to my former school, Temple Manor, a 13th century Knights Templar location, a Waterman offshore company, and Olympic and World Cup companies, and David Icke. Going to criminal company, Mansfield Masonic Hall Company Limited, in the research of Buzz Aldrin, the person who supposedly landed on the moon. No, he didn't. In 1969, linking to my life in Maidstone, again from the research of Buzz Aldrin. To Child Evangelism Fellowship of Britain, in the research of Jack Leon Gordon, who was the husband of Latoya Jackson, in the research of the death of Michael Jackson. Now, if you're not aware, Latoya Jackson came out and actually claimed that Michael Jackson was a molester of children. She then later said that her husband, Jack Leon Gordon, had told her that she needed to say that. All right, well, they're linked in massively into the criminal network. As in the death of Michael Jackson. To Consumers Association and Winston Spencer Churchill, a relative of Winston Churchill, and linking quickly to Mountbatten Spencer Investments, which is linking to the Royals. That's their name, the two family names, Spencer and Mountbatten, stemming from the research of actor Jim Carrey. It also links to Peterborough United Football Club, linked to Child Evangelism Fellowship of Britain, Guildhall School Trust, Scripture Union, and Pearson's Holiday Fund. Also to Rio Tinto Group, which is a British Australian, bearing in mind you've got the links to myself and Contact A, which are absolutely critical in all of this, everybody, and that will, that information will be forthcoming. Princess Eugenia, I hope. AIDS Care Education, it links to, and training, and to the Crown Agents Foundation, and also to Forvis Mazars companies, making the important direct link in to Albert Pike, the Albert Pike letter written to Mazzini in 1871, and links to Jeffrey Epstein. And this is stemming from the research of Baden Powell, who created the first Boy Scouts camp on Brownsea Island in Poole, not far away from Exbourne Manor, where my investigation began. And who else have we just seen that links to the Scouts and to camping? The Duke of Kent. We've literally just mentioned that he was linked into that. And some of the crimes, so the investigation in relation to the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, and John Smythe, and also another person called what was his first name? I can't remember, in relation to the South Bank child abuse inquiries, were both independently not investigated by the same person, so they covered it up because that linked to Scout Cub events where those children were abused. And this then ties in with Jimmy Savile and evidence of unaliving of at least one child, but it will be many more, taking place on the Scout camps. And you actually had somebody claiming that they witnessed a child being unalived on a Scout camp which was outward bound, where Jimmy Savile had been a director, and that links very quickly back into Donald Trump, the royal family, back into Madeleine McCann, into what we've just been talking about. It joins straight back up with this, with what we're talking about here. Most areas of the fraud, going back. So we have this Boy Scouts camp. Remember, it started in Poole, which is in Dorset, right near Exbourne Manor on Brownsea Island. That is where Baden Powell started the Boy Camps group, everybody, okay? It also links to the Artists Rifle Association, Harrow District Masonic Council Limited, so another Masonic connection, and importantly, look, to Ingenious Film Partners 2 LLP. Right, now we've already found the link, but this comes back in now, making further connections to this other link that we've already made on this Knight Rider document. And this is shown on page 40, as you know, that I've just shown you. It also links to the meat like it used to be. The meat, literally a company called the Meat Like It Used to Be company. So you know what that's telling us practically, doesn't it? I mean, we have to, the remains of the children, you know, it's fairly strong, it's overwhelming. Whether it's all a deception, it's too much evidence there. It also links to Twickenham District Masonic Council, which links almost immediately into my brother-in-law's family and the main Freemason Lodge. And it connects to G4S, again, a Group 4 security company that we've mentioned earlier in the research surrounding the Gravity situation. Deacon Bid Co. Limited, relating to my inquiries in Dorset and linked to the Doomsday Cult and Police, as shown in the research of the End of the World Iona prophecy. It also links to Barbara Emery and FJ Emery Oils Limited. I think oil is another name for the blood of the children. Limited in the research of the apparent infiltration of the royal family. It also links to PCC, which could be Police and Crime Commissioner, Wickford Limited, and Orsett Masonic Hall Limited. Again, that's at least three Masonic connections coming in from that. And to Knights and Co Limited. Remember, the Knights Templar is linked into this in the research of David Icke, stemming from my former school. And to Lowe Holdings Limited in the research of British MP Rupert Lowe, who we've just identified is connected to, in the last couple of days, I publicised this, to Anne Widdecombe, and where they are hiding information, it seems, of Anne Widdecombe's connection to Talbot Heath, which makes the link to my wife's family into Virginia Wade and into all of this that we're talking about. So it's almost guaranteed that that was not a murder. I mean, it's obvious it was not a murder, and it was she probably was part of a staged incident to prevent others speaking out, I would think. And linking to the election companies as well, and from there it links to further criminal firearms companies from the research of Rupert Lowe, the pornography industry as well via Pornhub, linking in with Exbourne Manor, the accountant for Exbourne Manor, who are friends of the Flemings. Oh, where are we? Pornography industry. It also links to JP Cord, making major links to the criminal network, and to CERN Limited, to Fellowship of St. Nicholas, a criminal company, which ties in with Santa and Satan. All right, the whole Santa side of things is satanic as well, making children materialistic, making you lie to them, saying that there's somebody when you have no evidence of that. Now you're going to say, well, what about Christ? Well, that's a whole other subject. But making them materialistic, telling them not to ever lie to you, and then you turning around and saying to them, your children, that you've lied to them for years and that was never a real character. It's a mockery of Christ. It's a mockery of you. It's a satanic attack on humanity and the children, leading to materialism, which will lead to the end of all of creation through that Satanism and through the materialism on earth. And of course, this system of crime has motivated the materialism for them, all right, to get you to want to buy more, to want bigger houses, to want to just keep buying, because that's how they then defraud you, through tax and other financial institutions they've got in place. And of course, now they possibly are thinking, well, we've been actually trying to motivate lots of people through, for example, having a benefit system that actually motivates people to have children, all right, those that are on the struggling end of finances. There was actually reason to have children because they were earning a lot more money by having children than they would have done if they'd have gone to work. Well, that was done deliberately, because then that creates the tax for life from each child, you see, into this criminal network to fulfill their addictions. Addictions are going to be a massive place of this. And look, from this, we have, this is just unreal. So we have Fellowship of St. Nicholas linking into it, and Two Tower Trust. Remember, the Two Towers links to The Lord of the Rings. It was the second movie that came out in 2002, after the World Trade Center disaster, when two towers collapsed. And here you have a company called Two Tower Trust linking in with this research of the COVID response. And it links to, where are we? To Warrington Hotel Limited, linked directly to Gordon Ramsay Foundation, and an Aqua Sports Yachting Limited company with an address of Glenferness Avenue, Bournemouth, which, guess what, is in Talbot Woods area, which is the area where Anne Widdecombe appears to have been linked to, but they are trying to hide that information. All right, they've gone into Facebook posts and removed links, but AI has picked it up anyway, and it's given me the evidence to show that they're removing, or to support that they're removing the evidence to hide her links to this area. And this Glenferness Avenue is very close to where I was led to believe, who was my wife's grandfather, lived, and this is where my ring came from, linking to the Vatican. Where is it? Linking to the Vatican, to the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati, linking into the intelligence agencies, linking in with the COVID response as well via a Eurofins organisation. And that Eurofins organisation was involved in the testing of COVID, but also the testing in relation to the horse meat scandal as well from 2013. So it all becomes very relevant. Research shows that Shaw & Sons claims to be one of the oldest established businesses of any description in the world, having been founded in 1750, not long after the centralized financial system began, linked to vampirism, started to be imposed, and has been trading continuously since then. It specializes in legal and local government sectors, supplying a wide range of paper, forms, specialist legal stationery, and printing services. So that was the company where this was all coming in from. Page 7, I'm not going to go into that too much. Referring back to Knight Ridder Properties, you then have, look at these connections, 33 companies. Get rid of those, too many ends. Cool. Gregory Gustave Van Mol connects to 33 companies, including Horning Developments Limited, that have been incorporated on the 18th of September 2009, 11 days before the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales, and dissolved in June 2023 as I exposed the fraud. A1 publicly, A1 Company Services and 788 790 Finchley Road is on the incorporation document, or in the, let me just get rid of that. On the incorporation document, making again the link to the Friends of the Flemings and the Accountants for Exbourne Manor, information of international dictators, mafia and corrupt politicians, the centralised pornography industry again, tying in with what we've just been talking about, and much more. Dale Patrick Birkby connects Horning, this company, to 9 companies, including Birkby HA Limited, that have been incorporated in May 2009 and dissolved on the 11th of September 2012. Stanley Davis Group is on its incorporation document, one of the main companies in the fraud, also linked to the information of international dictators, mafia and corrupt politicians. Christopher Charles Barron connects this company to 45, including Da Vinci Properties Limited, Maidstone Limited, that have been incorporated in August 2000, the year I joined the police at Maidstone. Remember, this is coming in from Knight Ridder Properties in Maidstone, the street that I was living in when I think it was when I joined the police. I was still living there, I think. Can't remember actually. Possibly not. I might be living back with my dad at that point. So this Da Vinci, I suspect, is literally a reference to the Da Vinci Code and the bloodline of Christ. Several of the companies around here have addresses at Station Road, Gillingham, Kent, which is near to my mother's address, about, I want to say 15 miles away. Maybe more than that. Yeah, 15, 20 miles away from Maidstone, where this original connection is. And this is, of course, where Gillingham Masonic Lodge had linked to my former school not far away. Gillingham is right near where that location is that we've just been talking about. Michael Paul Jameson connects Da Vinci Properties Maidstone Limited to 24 companies, including Dorset Court Hove, that have been, remember, this is 3.5 hours away from Dorset, where I lived later in my life, where I knew nobody, been incorporated with the same companies as Exbourne Manor Freehold Limited, and he links to Merrick Corporation Limited. They've been incorporated in 1996. Merrick Corporation, I suspect, relates to the Merrick Gentlemen's Club, which was founded in 1831 and links to Charles Dickens, to the intelligence agencies, and with Cray's association links. Right, I'm going to move on with another subject. How many people have got on here? Not many at all. Not many at all, for whatever reason. Should we have a break? How much more have I got on this? Oh, that's page 50. Let's have a break. Because this is a good point to have a break. Anyone that wants to come on to my TikTok channel now, I'm going to go on there, go live, and if anyone wants to come on and speak to me, and then what I will do is then come back to this evidence, and what you're going to be looking at is critical. We talk about the Gravity movie starring Sandra Bullock and how relevant that becomes in this. Pretty huge. and how it links in with potentially the evidence going back to 4,400 BC, everybody, tying in with this. That's how massive this is now going to get. So we'll come back to that a bit later. What's the time? I know it's getting on a bit, but I'm going to have a break. I'm just going to go on, have a quick swig of water, or do I just carry on? Hold on. I'm going to get, because it will just give me a nice break from this. It's just a little bit of a break. So I'm going to have a couple of minutes. Go to my TikTok channel, please, which is Gary for Freedom with a 2 at the end. So Gary for Freedom, a 2 at the end, and I'll be live on there in less than 5 minutes.